Hi there, Ray here. So really quick, what we are going to talk about today, we will talk about consoles, phones, PCs and laptops. We will talk about how they compare against each other in gaming, price to performance, and we will take a look at comfort or ease of use. Right now let's talk about performance. First let's start with phones. What to say about phones except that they are not intended for gaming, but today we have phones that are only for gaming and nothing else. That is how much the gaming industry has gone. Even products that were not intended to be used for gaming are being used for just that. But still, phones when it comes to performance are the weakest out of the four categories. Even if we include the Switch, which is a console since it's handheld, even that still would be ranked the lowest, and the reason is simple. It's the size factor. When we talk about gaming we need performance, and when we need performance things will heat up, and there needs to be space for air to move around and move out. There needs to be space for fans, and since we need performance, the part that have the most performance are big, and for those reasons phones come last when it comes to performance. Second, let's take a look at consoles. How do they compare to phones? And when it comes to performance they compare as well as you might think they do. Consoles are a lot better and they do best what they are meant to do, they game. And let's not forget, gaming consoles are only meant to run games, and that's why they will do that a lot better than you might think, or even better than the hardware might suggest. Let's not forget, a console with some hardware capabilities as a PC will run games a lot better than a PC. When games are made, they are made with the exact console hardware in mind, but when it comes to PC it's a little bit more complicated because PCs aren't made only for gaming. You have to keep that in mind. And even with that, there are thousands or even millions of hardware combinations you can have when building a PC. That means that consoles are better than phones and better than many PCs. And let's continue to laptops, and things here are a little complicated because they are better than phones, no questions asked. But if we compare them to consoles it gets rough, and since price is not an issue right now we will give this win to laptops, because you can get a $3,000 laptop that is a lot better than a console, and let's get real, they probably do not even come close to performance. So for now, when it comes to performance, laptops are a lot better than consoles. And last but not least, defiantly not least, because they are the best when it comes to performance, the one and only the PC. What else is there to say? The king of performance. It's better than all of the above when it comes to performance. Let's be honest with ourselves, because we all know that the PC is better, there is no question. If we talk about just performance it's not even a competition, but we will compare other things, not just the performance, so sit tight and let's start talking about price. We will start again with the phone, and there is a wide range of prices when it comes to phones. But if you want a game you will need to spend at least $800+, because you will either need a really high-end phone that can do everything, or a gaming phone which is a lot better in just gaming. But if you don't like new or AAA games then you are lucky, you can get away even with less. And let's not forget phones who have another advantage when it comes to price, since games on mobile are usually free, so there's another thing to think about. Second, laptops. And when it comes to prices they are about the same as phones. They can be as cheap as around $200, but if we talk about gaming laptop you will need to spend a lot more. You won't buy anything good if you are not willing to pay $800+, and the reason is simple, you will need a GPU for that. And GPUs are not cheap, that is the main reason. And let's tell the truth, without a GPU the laptop will not run any game, or it will run games, but it will run games poorly. And we don't want that. So with that said, laptops are not cheap, at least if you want one that is good for gaming. Now let's move on to consoles, which are really simple because there are not a lot of companies that make consoles, so that makes consoles around the same spec and around the same price. And for the performance that new gen consoles offer, they are really cheap, but we need to keep in mind that consoles are only for gaming, so even though they offer a lot of performance for the price, the only thing that you can actually do with the console is game. That's about it. But let's not forget, since they are only made with gaming in mind, they are optimized to game, and gaming is what they do best. Even old consoles run games good, even on old hardware, because games are optimized to run on that specific hardware. So consoles that are capable of gaming are cheap. They are not the cheapest, you will still need to pay around $500, but if you compare them to a brand new laptop it is a lot cheaper. Now to the king of performance, and believe me, we can say that it is the king of price. If you want the latest and greatest, and when I say the king of price I mean it in the worst way, they can get really expensive, but if you get an old one you can get them at affordable prices and still they are capable at games. Even if you build your own PC you will spend some money. If you want that gaming performance it's going to cost you about as much as a laptop, but if you are willing to build your own PC it gets a little cheaper, and if you buy used hardware you can get a pretty capable PC in the cheap. So a PC is expensive, but if you are smart, play your cards right, and are a little lucky you can get a really good PC on the cheap. So when it comes to price to performance the only argument you can make is between the PC and console. So first let's see why phones and laptops are out. We mentioned before phones that are capable of gaming are high-end and they cost a lot of money and still don't offer the same performance compared to a cheap PC or a laptop. And speaking of laptops, they are not cheap if you want a GPU, and you cannot have good performance without a GPU, so that's out. Now it's console versus PC. Well, when it comes to buying it new and have just straight a lot of performance when it comes to games, you will not find anything better than a console. But let's not forget, since consoles are only made for gaming, that is pretty much everything you can do and nothing else. But if you go with a PC, even though the performance might be lacking, you can do many other things in it. And let's not forget, you can make a PC better over time. You can upgrade your PC, you can add some RAM, change the graphic card, change the CPU, things like that, and you just won't be able to do that with a console. But today we are talking about gaming, so for price to performance when it comes to games, the winner is the console. And the last thing we are going to talk about is comfort. Here we will talk about ease of use. Now the only argument that can be made here is between the laptop and the phone, and the reason is simple, because they are both portable. The PC and the console not so much. Let's be realistic, no one will take a console to work and play on a 20-minute break. That's just not going to happen. And the PC is even worse. I mean, for PC there's only one spot you can sit and play, and only one way you can enjoy. At least for most people that's the case. Even the console is more comfortable. I mean, you can sit however you want on the bed. And for laptops versus phone, well, laptops just aren't going to cut it, because you will still need at least a mouse for it to game, and you cannot put the mouse just everywhere. It at least needs a flat surface. But when it comes to phone, you can take them wherever you want, do with them whatever you want, play however you want, and you always carry them at your pocket. So for this category the winner is the phone. But now let's take a look what is the best overall, and it all depends on the user. I mean, if you are a hardcore gamer and need all the performance you can get, you will need a PC. If you need something like a PC but need it to be more portable, then you will go for a laptop. But if you are just a casual gamer, you don't like the PC interface and don't really use it, even though that is unlikely, you will go with a console. And if you are a really casual gamer and only play for a couple minutes a day, you are better of just getting just a better phone. And that it is for this video. This is my first video, and if you want to make some more tech related content and watch me, subscribe. Tell me what you want me to talk about next video and I will probably cover it. This is my first video, so if you can like this video that would mean a lot. Bye, and I will see you in the next one.